the show. You are one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. If you want to get links to all those channels that I mentioned for the show, you can find them at westhesportsguy.com. If you want to get the MLB preview for the 2021 season, it is also going to be up at westhesportsguy.com as well. Can't stress it enough to bookmark that site for everything and all you need to know about your favorite sports guy at westhesportsguy.com. Don't adjust your phone, tablet, computer screen, television screen, whatever it may be. Yes, I did shave for work-related reasons. That's not why I'm here. That's not why you're here. Leave a like, leave a comment if you want to not see the beard again. If you do miss the beard, I appreciate the condolences and everything else if you want to leave a comment below. But hey, please go ahead and do that. I will hear all of it. Whether good or bad, leave a comment, leave a like on this video at any of those platforms. Find the links at westhesportsguy.com. Getting into it, to start off this video with MLB opening day having been underway, we had an extension with the New York Mets' big offseason acquisition, shortstop Francisco Lindor signing a 10-year, $341 million extension. Enjoy those New York state taxes, by the way, Francisco. But regardless, it is a very nice, hefty extension for one of the best premier shortstops really in all of baseball, not just for, overall players. He has been a very good player for the majority of his career with the Cleveland Indians before this season, being traded to the New York Mets in the offseason. This is, of course, the culmination of the new owner, Steve Cohen, for the New York Mets, who is basically not afraid to spend almost all of his money, really, being another billionaire that's getting a premier MLB franchise, to win now or win at all costs, you could say, to that effect, with the amount of money that he has. So giving Francisco Lindor this kind of an extension makes sense. You don't give up what they did to get Lindor to only have him for 1 year and then lose him or possibly trade him if the Mets end up having a bad season. But this is well worth the price, you could say, if you're a Mets fan, because, yeah, you had recent run of success. You did get to the World Series not that long ago. It was not a very good showing for you, but nonetheless, it is a franchise that has a lot of good storied history in its past, and of course, you're playing in perhaps the biggest market in baseball, which is New York, next to Los Angeles will be the other one, hence the Angel stuff that you see on this channel. But regardless, Francisco Lindor gets the extension, 10 years, $341 million. This, of course, following what Fernando Tatis Jr., if I can get my words together with the nameage, for the San Diego Padres, getting his massive extension well into spring training. Now Lindor getting his just before the season starts. So very good all the way around. It made sense, and thus the reward for getting a guy like Lindor and that all-star caliber type player. And if you want to get back to the contention in the postseason and possibly World Series, you better start locking these guys up. Now, the other topic I'd like to get into with Major League Baseball, with opening day, I'd rather talk more about opening day stuff when it comes to players, when it comes to teams, all those kinds of things. But I have to voice my opinion on something stupid. So, All-Star Game 2021. We were going to play an All-Star Game in Atlanta, Georgia this year. They have a new ballpark that's not in Atlanta anymore. It's just north of them in Cobb County, called Truist Park, that opened, I believe, in 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment below if that's the case. But Truist Park, the newest ballpark for the Atlanta Braves, was going to be hosting the All-Star Game in 2021. This was announced a few years ago that Atlanta was going to get to host the All-Star Game. They didn't have one last year because we all know about lockdown madness, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into it. Major League Baseball decided to pull the rug out from Atlanta and say we're not going to be having the All-Star Game there this season. Why, would you say? Was it have anything to do with lockdown reasons? Did it have anything to do with, problems at the ballpark? Maybe there wasn't enough planning ahead of time for whatever reason because of lockdown madness last year. Was there some legitimate reason to pull the All-Star Game out of Atlanta, Georgia? Well, the reason was because the state of Georgia decided to pass some laws, or a law, more specifically, one law, that helped to ensure that people had ways of verifying that their vote counted in the state of Georgia. Now, before you start going after me for mentioning the law, the voting law in Georgia that was passed by the legislature there with the backing of their own constituents, mind you, this is the state of Georgia's business, not mine, not yours. This is their business. I encourage you to go to the original source, read it for yourself, and then we can have the discussion about whether or not you believe this is a just law or not. All you're hearing from hyperbole from third parties that either did read it and are misrepresenting what the law says or are flat out lying about what the law says, they are not doing any good right now. So I will again stress, go to the original source and read it for yourself. Come to your own conclusion. Do not take my word. Do not take anybody else's word for it, but go to the original source like I did. The truth shall set you free. So I'll leave you with that. But to go forward with this, basically there is nothing in the law that suppresses somebody's right to vote. If you want to vote, go for it. If you don't want to vote, that's your choice too. Nobody is forcing you one way or another to do that. But if somebody is telling you that getting an identification or providing identification to get an absentee ballot, which is what this law in Georgia basically puts forth, that you need to have proper identification to be able to submit an absentee ballot, and all the other stuff. Not going to get into the law here. I don't want to get politics and all this stuff. But unfortunately, Major League Baseball injected themselves into a political discussion, so I have to bring this up. But I digress. If you have to show ID at a ballpark, Major League ballpark, to buy beer, it shouldn't be an issue to have to show proof of identification to submit an absentee ballot. That's what the Georgia law says. You have to have a state ID to vote in Georgia via absentee. You go vote in person, you still have to show your ID when you go vote in person. Seems fine to me. You have to show your ID at a ballpark at the will call window if you go to pick up a ticket. So from Major League Baseball's perspective, you still have to show some kind of ID at all Major League ballparks for various things. So whatever your main objection is, which in Major League Baseball's statement doesn't specify anything about the law, just talking about it suppresses people's right to vote. Well, where's specifics here, Commissioner Rob Manfred? Where's the specifics? Because now that you're going to take this out of the state of Georgia, you're kind of limited your options now of where you kind of go when it comes to states that don't require identification when it comes to vote. One state in mind is California. But here's the other wrinkle with this, if you're Major League Baseball. This is really what it boils down to. This is who it hurts when you're taking something like this away from a local economy in the city of Atlanta. You're hurting those people. You're hurting the local community, the businesses, the workers, the ones that count on this income, especially for a huge event like this in the middle of summer for Major League Baseball, the All-Star festivities, Home Run Derby, the game itself. You have all the, extra stuff for kids to keep them occupied for a couple days of a weekend before the All-Star game on Tuesdays. There's a lot of activities that go into this, a whole lot. It's basically a 4-day weekend, 5 days really. But you're taking all that extra income in the middle of all the lockdown madness with so many people struggling to get by right now. Major League Baseball and the Commissioner, Rob Manfred, decided to thumb his nose at you all and said, screw you, I'm taking this elsewhere. Good luck. That's who this hurts. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt me. It hurts that community. And anybody that tries to spin it other way is fooling themselves and trying to fool you at the same time. So you want to take this to California, a place that does not require identification to vote. So if you do that, guess what, Major League Baseball? You're not going to make as much money as you thought you were in Georgia, because guess what? California's got a pretty crap ton of freaking taxes that's going to tax the crap out of you. So any of that extra moolah you might get out of California, sure, it might be California wants to give you some incentives to bring it there. But in the long run, you're just going to lose so much goodwill that you've built trying to bring things back to what they were before lockdown madness. And now you've just pissed all over it. It's amazing to watch this in real time. But again, I go back to you're hurting the local communities. Major League Baseball, did you confer with the Players Association? I haven't seen a statement from the Players Association. The Players Alliance said they support this decision. Well, again, that local community is screwed. Those people are not going to be working that day. Those people are not going to get extra revenue for working those days, however their situation may be. But all those businesses are going to suffer even more than they are right now. So congratulations, Major League Baseball. That's a win in your book. But going forward, Major League Baseball, if you want to be cushy with others that align with, let's just go ahead and say it, your political beliefs. Now we're injecting politics into sports here. If you want to align yourself with others, that's fine. You're going to have to live with those business decisions going forward. But if you're doing this strictly off of corporate say-so, corporate backing, corporate moolah, the power, the money involved with all of this, well, shame on you. It's not going to be enough shame, but you should be feeling it. You should. If you have a soul, your soul is tugging at you right now because you're hurting a lot of people. Tens, if not hundreds of thousands of community members in Atlanta, Georgia, and outside of the city of Atlanta in Cobb County. You're hurting a lot of people, people that you claim are being suppressed right now in the state of Georgia. Whether or not they decide they want to vote or not, that's what you're basing this decision on. It's a pretty stupid decision when you think about it, don't you think? Leave a comment below if you believe that's the case, or not. Leave a comment regardless. But the cushy relationship that Major League Baseball is starting to show with a country like China is making me ponder and worry to some degree. Because if you've tuned into this channel and seen what I've written on westthesportsguy.com, I'm not very happy with the NBA in the last year and a half, really. And that's because of the cushy relationship with China, a known stronghold in the government, the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, and their oppression of their own people. And at the top of it, the Uyghur population. They're in internment camps right now. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's happening. It's been happening for many years. And I will continue to talk about that. So the NBA still has not answered for that part of it. But if Major League Baseball, you're starting to go down that road with China and starting to get a cushy relationship with them, trying to have some quote-unquote baseball academic camps going on to try to get into that pocketbook of the CCP, you're going down some very dangerous roads here, Major League Baseball, because you're losing fans as it is right now. You're losing them in the stadiums, even though you're allowing some fans into it. Not a lot of them are going to want to come back anytime soon for lockdown reasons, but also this reason too. They're calling for boycotts left and right. I am not an advocate for a straight up boycott. I'm still wearing the merch. I haven't bought recent merch because now you're beholden to Nike with your merchandise. I don't want to buy that Nike crap. Nike's with China too. That's my position. But individually, if you want to boycott Major League Baseball, I'm not telling you not to. I, for one, don't feel boycotts are going to work in the long run because it hurts local people. It hurts a lot of people that you think it's going to help, but no, you're hurting them in the long run. But individually, if you want to do this, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want to cancel an MLB TV subscription, if you don't want to watch your favorite team, you don't care about your favorite player anymore, you just want to tune out from baseball for this entire season or forever going forward, that's fine. I am not here to argue that point. Go at it. That is on an individual basis. I am not going to unilaterally say you can't, you shouldn't, or argue against that. That's just my opinion. Individually, I'm still going to watch baseball. I'm still going to talk about baseball. The MLB previews coming on westthesportsguy.com, regardless of whether this happened or not with the All-Star game. But I'm just here to tell you, if you get too cushy with China, you're going to end up just like the NBA. Your ratings are tanking right now. Your revenue streams are pretty much almost at the bottom tier of all the major sports leagues for the foreseeable future. So if you continue down this road, it's not going to end well for you, Major League Baseball. This is a fair warning for you. The marketplace is wise to what's going on here. The NBA is going to learn that lesson the hard way. Major League Baseball, you're going to have to learn it the hard way too if you continue down this road. But boycotting, you do it on an individual basis. So Major League Baseball doing it this way is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's a stupid, stupid decision. It's a fiasco. It's hurting more people than you think it's helping. So for Major League Baseball, I got to say this and cover your ears if you have little ones, but Rob Manfred, you done fucked up. Time to end this episode on a positive note with the feel-good story of the week, with the Godzilla vs. Kong movie opening in theaters and on HBO Max, the streaming service, this week. And if you want to get to a theater, you can go to one of those local mom and pop shops, or a theater that's not, almost majority owned by the CCP in China, like AMC. But if you want to go and see it in the theater, if they're open, hopefully, go ahead and do that, or you can stream it at home on HBO Max. Regardless, I'm going to be watching that later today here on Saturday. If you're watching this episode right now, I thank you for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Watch that movie. I'm looking forward to it. I wasn't wrong about the Snyder Cut there with Justice League. That was definitely worth it. It was 4 hours straight through. Did not have any breaks in between. 4 hours, worth it. I'm sure Godzilla vs. Kong, being what it is, it's going to give you what you're asking for. You want to see both of them going at it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I cannot wait to watch. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell below to get notified when the videos are posted on this channel, YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Make sure you go to WesTheSportsGuy.com to get the links to all those video channels and social media links as well. And I will see you next time.